What's up everyone, this is Black Haired Shanks here, and I'm here to kind of slip in an extra little video this week before we get to the One Piece live manga read. I figured, okay, I've kind of introduced myself, so let's go a little bit into more detail about the things I like. So I figured the best way to go about that is to kind of go up my, what I call the nerd tower, show you various different things that I collect, movies, books, things of that nature, video games. And that way you can kind of get a rundown of what I'm into. So let's check it out. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to show off are these swords. I actually bought these back in high school. I was really into swords back then, thought they were cool. They're not sharp, they're actually just replicas, but I kept them over all these years and I still love them to this day. This wooden one is definitely probably my favorite. Yeah, it's really cool. Other thing that I got down here came with the Beatles Rock Band for PlayStation 3. I actually don't own it anymore, but I kept that just because I am a huge Beatles fan. Now, if you're looking at this and you're wondering to yourself, what is this? This is actually the backboard of my very first bookcase. Small, I know. But when you open it, you can see why I kept it. Now we're going to start down here at the bottom. I always say the bottom part is the most uninteresting part of the bookcase, but I promise it gets better. Down here in the bottom, we've actually got old Nintendo powers, and the Nintendo powers have a really neat history to it. My mom worked at this department store called Hills, and she worked in the electronics, and a Nintendo representative would come and change out the kiosks all the time of the different games of the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64. And she really liked me and thought I was a pretty cool kid, I guess, and she would give me the Nintendo powers. Also, she gave me a lot of the promotional materials that they used and like the cardboard cutouts and things like that. I had so much Ken Griffey Jr. memorabilia, it's not even funny. But also on top, I've got my Game Informers that I get in the mail monthly. Down here at the bottom, if you're wondering what all this random paper is, I'm actually an artist, and that's a lot of some of my better drawings that I'm really into. Maybe I'll show them off in another video. I've got some random magazines right there and a couple little personal items that I hold on to. Over here, I've got PlayStation 4 games. I actually do not keep them here. I put them here just for the purpose of this video. I actually have a case that I keep them in. I figured I'd show off my PlayStation 4 games real quick. This is in no way all of them. I actually have a whole lot more digital versions on the PlayStation 4. I'll put my PlayStation account ID or whatever in the description. And if you want to, you can friend me or just check out my trophies and see what else I play. But just to kind of give you a rundown, I won't spend a lot of time. I've got and finally, the best game of all time, and when I say that this really is my personal favorite game of all time, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I love this game. I love everything they did with this game. They really delivered, and you will hear me gush about this series a lot more in the future. Now, I've had a lot of other video games in the past, but I've had to downsize a lot in recent years, and so I primarily just play PlayStation 4. I do have a Super Nintendo Classic console, though, for random trivia. Now, as we go up the Nerd Tower, we actually have a record player. Yes, I love music. I love it so much. Now, I just recently got this, so I only have 2 records, but I will have more in the future. We've got this really cool Roronoa Zoro action figure, which is actually from the 4Kids action figure line. I still have the limited edition box for Kingdom Hearts 2.5 when I had it for PlayStation 3. I just thought it was real cool and I had to keep it. Got the last 4 issues of Shonen Jump sitting there on top of some random comic books. Over here we've got more random magazines.
Things from whenever I was a kid, like Pojo's Total Dragon Ball Z and Pojo's Total Gundam Wing. Had to keep those. I'm a fan of Foxtrot, which is an American newspaper comic. Got some old yearbooks. I actually do read books from time to time.
I also love Lord of the Rings and the Narnia series. I've got The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, Lovely Bones. Just some books that I enjoyed, and I keep them up here. Now over here is the 2 records I was telling you about. I showcase my Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the Guardians Galaxy soundtrack, both in the first and second films. And I've got Lana Del Rey, Born to Die. Now, one thing that you may hear me gush about is Lana Del Rey is my favorite singer. Now, here's where I keep a lot of my art books. There's more to come, actually.
Mythology, Zelda, Batman, Spider-Man, Avengers, Overwatch, Witcher, just various things.
Now, over here is not all of my movies. I actually have a lot more movies, but these are movies that I just kind of showcase on my bookcase. Some of my most favorites. Some are just random. One thing that you'll see up here is I've got some Paul Rudd movies. Paul Rudd is my most favorite actor. There's something about him that reminds me of myself, or at least the roles that he plays. I have a few of the animated DC movies, which are fantastic. Coco, which was an amazing animated film. The Lord of the Rings films are amazing. Just recently watched Harry Potter for the first time and fell in love with that series. I'm a huge Arrested Development fan. I need to get season 4 on DVD. We'll go up and we get into the more interesting things. I've got a new Usagi Yojimbo figure here. I've loved him ever since he first appeared in the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoons. I've got this Catherine art book that came with the Catherine PlayStation 3 game, which I'm excited about the PS4 version coming out later this year. I've got all 6 volumes of Scott Pilgrim, which is an amazing series. There's Miss Lana again, and I've actually got more of her CDs right there. Over here is a really interesting find. I went to a really cool place called McKay's, where they sell movies, books, DVDs, video games, and I found the Japanese soundtrack for Final Fantasy VIII, and it was literally $5. I went on the internet later on and found out this is a very expensive item on the internet. So knowing that I got it for $5 was really cool. I got Spider-Man hiding back here. I got some Justice League, New 52 graphic novels. They're all right. Marvel Civil War. I'm a huge Adventure Time fan, and this is the encyclopedia for it. I actually have the 7 seasons of Adventure Time that's out right now. So yeah. On top of that, I've got Star Wars episodes 1 through 6. And then I've got the DCEU movies, which I'm on the fence about that series, but we've got the last 2, Star Wars 7 and 8. And then I've got the MCU right here. Well, the MCU as they're out right now. But we've got Iron Man all the way up to Black Panther. I do have Daredevil on Blu-ray. I need to get the other Netflix series on Blu-ray at some point in time. And then I've got Jack Skellington hanging out back there. I'm a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan. Then we've got Dragon Ball, the entire manga series, which this is the very first manga series I ever collected for, and I've kept it ever since. I've actually owned a lot more manga series. I'll tell you more about that in an upcoming video. I've got every single season of Dragon Ball Z, along with all of the movies. The only, actually the 2 movies I'm missing are History of Trunks and Bardock the Father of Goku. I need to get those at some point. I've got the entire series of Dragon Ball GT, which a lot of people hate, but, And I've got the 4 volumes that are out so far of Dragon Ball Super, which I hope that they speed these up a little bit. They're a little bit further on Toonami right now. I've got the first 4 seasons of the English dub of Digimon. I'm a huge Digimon fan. And I also have the first 4 parts of the Digimon Tri movie. They haven't released the last 2 yet. I've got the complete series of Gundam Wing and the Endless Waltz movie. Love Gundam Wing. We'll go up here, and you know it, I'm a One Piece fan. As of right now, they have 574 episodes dubbed on a DVD. Got this really cool Trafalgar Law wallet that my wife got me a long time ago. This is cool. I got this when I collected the One Piece trading cards back in high school. That was still during the 4Kids dub, and they had these treasure maps that you could send in, and they would send you this gigantic Luffy card for finding all 3. But yeah, I've got seasons 1 through 9. That's all they've released so far of the One Piece. This thing does not want to stand up. That's all the DVDs they've released of One Piece so far. I'm hoping they'll get on it soon. I'm really excited to get into Punk Hazard. I've got also the movies that have come out so far, which starts with movie 8, movie 10. Let's see, Film Z was 12, I believe. And then One Piece Film Gold, which is the latest one. Now we'll go over here, and here's more of my One Piece collection. The manga collection. Yes, I've been collecting this ever since, I think I started back when Volume 8 had just come out. And I've been collecting ever since. We're up to Volume 86. And this is definitely something I'm excited to do reviews on in the near future. Got this cool little straw hat that actually came on a Luffy doll from the 4Kids dub. I gave it to my kids, and my kids, well, you know what happens when you give toys to kids. But I kept that. As I said in my last video, I'm actually reading Attack on Titan. I've watched the anime up to what's come out so far, and I'm up to Volume 4 in the manga. I'm hoping to get further soon. I've got the One Piece Color Walks, which there's actually a compendium that just came out, and I'm going to buy that soon. I actually have the Witcher books. I just told you a minute ago that The Witcher is my favorite video game series, and I love the books that the game is based on. And I'll talk more about those in the future as well. Now finally, up on top, we've got my figure collection, which just recently started growing. I said earlier I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and you can tell I've got these Funkos and my Sora. Then you come over here, and I've got my One Piece figures. These are 10-inch figures. The Luffy and the Law are part of the Master Stars piece. And then I believe Boa Hancock there is from the Flag Diamond ship. And Nami and Robin there are part of the Glitterous and Glam line, I believe. We've got a Heartless along with my Darth Vader Funko, and I've got 2 Harley Quinn Funkos up here. We'll go over and we'll see Mr. Bruce Lee standing beside Super Saiyan Blue Goku. I've got this really awesome Goku figure that's doing the Kamehameha. And then we've got Luffy and Hancock sitting together. Yes, I shipped these 2. I don't think they'll end up together in the series, but you can always hope. We've got Mr. Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher. And we've got Finn sitting back there on the Enchiridion. And that's actually the Enchiridion. When you open it up, it's got the spells and everything in it, which is really cool. And then finally, I've got my One Piece Funko collection. Interesting thing about the Law is kind of hard to find without paying a little extra money for. And I found that one, and I think he might be bootleg. But you know what? They did good on the packaging, and he doesn't look too terrible on the figure, so we're going to leave it that way. So yeah, that's kind of a peek into the things that I'm into. We'll go into more detail of a lot of this stuff in the near future, but I figured it would be a great way to kind of show you the various things that I'm into. So yeah, we've got a One Piece live manga read coming up soon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Yo!